everybody. Hey, everybody. Hopefully, y'all can hear me. Oh, let me know. I got my water and I got coffee because I definitely going to need it. Oh, my God. I was running, so I'm all over the place. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Oh, my God. So it sounds like I missed a lot when I ended the hour because they went a little bit longer at court, which is absolutely fine for me because listen, when I got to be done, I got to be done. I have to go tend to other things and whatnot. I have not received the transcripts for today's hearing, so I'm still waiting on those transcripts. I'm letting those notifications go out. I don't know if you guys missed the video that I dropped earlier today. Basically, it was adding a sidebar and concluding the direct examination from the prosecutor's side on Capricorn Clark. Now, this video right here, we're going to get into the cross-examination, okay? We're going to get into it. We live now. Let me let the people know, okay? Yes, I took a little nap, so I'm still trying to and I don't ever take naps. That's how tired I've been. I got to wake up. Shout out to everybody. Hey, Kim. Hey, Diddy. Hey, Tamara. Hey, Piria. Hey, Life Lessons and Lions. Welcome. Paige, Dazzler. Thank you guys for being here. Diddy, my love. Thank you. Katie. Shout out to everybody. Storm. Who else? Nebby is in the house. Everybody come through. Andy, welcome. Hey, shout out. We have a lot of new people, new members and stuff like that were gifted. Shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for subscribing, tuning in, and everything. It's amazing. Ronnie, Mercy, D. Marie, thank you. Wendy, how are you? Y'all, how are you, Ms. Is it Domini 23? Domini 23. Hey, witchy woman. How you doing? Here for the show. I see you. Just Miri. Everybody come through. I'm letting those notifications go out because we're about to get to reading on, and you guys decide. I have not read this, so I'm literally reacting with you guys. I could have done a pre-recorded live on this, but I was like, I kind of want to do this live and see kind of where people land with Capricorn Clark. There's been a lot of things that have been said, but did the defense actually destroy her in her test? That's the question that I have, because people have said, and I heard people that were actually in the courtroom and they were saying, oh, she didn't do it cross. She didn't do very well in cross. She did not do very well in cross. So we have to talk about that. You said Jay-Z was mentioned in cross. I heard he was mentioned today. So I don't know about this. I'm kind of wondering. How are you, Susan? Hey, Jacqueline, shout out to you. Shout out to Ticket TV. Thank you. Yeah, we got a great shout out over the weekend. Shout out to Ticket TV as well. Share the love. Hey, how are you? Shout out to you. Venus Blue, I'm looking to finish it this morning. I know, y'all, if you are playing on that, shout out to the people that play the replay. But yeah, I took a little nap and I feel a little good. But tomorrow we're gonna be live and hustling again. Okay, we definitely are. Thank you, Chantel from Canada. All right, we got to get it together. So we have the defense. Okay, so I know there's going to be people that are going to be coming in a little bit late. Should be absolutely fine. If they come in and say, who are we talking about? Let them know we're talking about the Capricorn Clark defense cross-examination. That's what we're doing. Okay, so it is going to be a little bit like, I want to know, I'm curious to know, did they destroy her? Now I know I have this banner. I have to take this off because that's really distracting when it's scrolling down there. No, Capricorn Clark, that's what we're talking about. The defense has not disproven, look at this, anything anybody has said. They tried to cheap tricks to cast doubt. You know what, Kim? People are saying, that's why I was like, this is so important that we read this, because I haven't read it. Now, I'm going to do my best to get as much as I can through this, but it's a lot. So if we don't get all the way, you guys expect a pre-recorded. I did do a video earlier today on this. Check it out. It was dropped right after I was done with the live. So some of you guys might have not watched it, but that's okay. Okay. I don't know if we need to play detective on the Mia situation. I think it's going to come up pretty soon. So I wouldn't even be, really thinking about it too much, simply because it's going to get exposed regardless, whether it's wanted or not. It's going to get exposed because that's just how it is. Okay. Let's get it together. So yesterday, and I honestly thought that Capricorn Clark was going to be this morning, but I guess she wasn't. She wasn't. But the defense did the cross examination, and it was Agnifilo who cross examined Capricorn Clark. Good morning, Miss Clark. Good morning, and nice to see you again. Nice to see you. My name is Mark Agnifilo. I know you know that. I'm going to ask you some questions. If I ask you a question that you don't understand or a question that you would like me to rephrase, all you need to do is say, can you rephrase that? Or I don't understand that. And that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Yes, sir. Okay. This is this is actually the second time we're meeting, right? Yes. Okay. And the first time we met, I don't know if you remember, it was April 10th, 2024. Yes. And at that time, you had a lawyer in Los Angeles, Brian Friedman. Do you remember him? I do. Well known, highly regarded lawyer from your perspective. Yes. And I met with you, and Ms. Garagos met with you, and a third lawyer named Jonathan Davis met with you, right? Yes. And you and Mr. Freeman, you and had a friend with there, right? Do you remember who that was? Yes. Jonathan Lock is it McLaughlin? Jonathan McLaughlin. Jonathan McLaughlin. So if I remember right, it was Mr. Freeman, yourself, Mr. McLaughlin on one side of the table. I think it was me, Miss Garagos, Jonathan Davis on the other side of the table. Correct. And one of the things we talked about, a lot of things that day, right? You just, oh yes, yes, yes. Great. I don't understand this side thing right here, but let me highlight it. She says, oh, yes, yes, yes. One of the things we talked about, a lot of things that day, right? You just, oh, yes, yes. She acknowledges. Great. One of the things we talked about, and you just told the government this, you wanted to come back and work with Mr. Combs after his chief of staff, as his chief of staff. We discussed it, yes. Okay. And you remember that. You brought up that up. Yes. Okay. And tell me if this is right. What you said was you've always been able to take care of him. I don't recall that. Okay. Do you remember saying that he wouldn't be in this mess had he kept me around? I probably said something like that. Yes. And just so we're clear, do you remember, only if you remember, do you remember Miss Garagos was taking notes? Yes. You saw her? You saw her taking notes? Yes. Handwritten notes? Yes. And you said, tell me if this is right. You said you didn't think that Miss Ventura was good for Mr. Combs. Correct. You said that at that meeting, right? Correct. And you believe that? Correct. Okay. Do me a favor. Tell the jury in your words why you think that's true. Objection. From Ms. Steiner, the government. Judge says overrule. Ooh, Garagos. Okay. And Agnifilo came in with the torch here. Okay. Side note, I'm going to say this. Don't ever get comfortable with attorneys, no matter what side they're on. This right here, she got too comfortable with this attorney. That's what I have to say about that. Okay. She answers the question. I just felt like they were toxic as a couple. Okay. Tell me if this is right. When you first met and you called him Puff, right? I did. Okay. And you never called him Sean? Never. And you never called him Mr. Combs? Never. You called him Puff? Puff. Okay. So if it's okay with you, just since that's what you called him, can we all call him Puff? Is that all right? Yeah, I just kind of go with whatever is being asked, but absolutely, yeah. Okay, all right. The court interjects. Let's call him Mr. Combs. Agnifilo says, okay, Judge, that ends that. Okay, here we go. We're going to call him Mr. Combs. Mr. Combs. Okay. So when did you first meet Mr. Combs? In 2002 when I moved to New York. Okay. And before you worked with him, before anything else, you and he were friends, correct? Correct. You hung out a lot? Yes. And you had a mutual friend? Yes. And remind the jury of what that person's name is. Jeanette DeLone, Jeanette DeLone. And to your knowledge, from what you could see, did Miss DeLone and Mr. Combs have some kind of a romantic relationship from what you could tell? I knew that they had a past. Okay. Relationship? Relationship, they were older than me. They used to years before had right. Yes. But you guys would all hang out. Platonic, yes. Yeah, platonic. And just to be clear, you and Mr. Combs have always been platonic. 1000%. Okay. And you started as friends? Yes. So tell the jury about your friendship. Tell us about how it started. Bring us back to 2002 and tell us what it was like. I moved back to New York. I was working in advertisement or advertising. I was living in the Bronx, hated the Bronx. My friend Jeanette, I met her through a mutual. My roommate had a girlfriend and they were friends, and we just kind of all got closer than the girlfriend because they were vegans and whatever. So me and Jeanette, we formed a friendship, and she just went out a lot, and she was like popular in New York City, Lower East Side girl, New York, and she would hang out with different people, and she would often hang out with Mr. Combs and would invite me, and then we would sort of start hanging out, us three, as like little friendship group. And you and Mr. Combs and Jeanette had fun. We did, right? And you would hang out quite a bit. Yeah, back in the day, definitely. Okay. Do you remember, could it have been earlier than 2002 that you met Mr. Combs? And I know you're going back to 2 decades. I'm just, could it have been 2000 or 2001? Well, I moved to New York in September of 2000. Right. And then in 2001 was the World Trade Center thing, and I don't remember exactly when, but I know that it wasn't necessarily my first year. I met him a little bit after I moved there. Got it. Got it. And when you first met Mr. Combs, he wasn't doing any drugs, right? I mean, ecstasy. Was he doing ecstasy when you met him? No, not when I met him. No, no, no. I don't mean that time. I mean in the time period. Yeah, in that time period, you saw him doing it like socially. One night at Daddy's house, I think I saw him do it in the lounge. Okay. But I'll ask you about Mr. Combs the same question that my colleague asked you about Miss Ventura. As time went on, you saw that Mr. Combs was doing a lot more drugs? Absolutely. Okay. And you, with the exception of a few years where you kind of, were away from him, you were his friend from 2002 to 2004, right? You have to answer yes so she can. Oh, yes, sorry. Yes. Okay. And then you worked for him from 2004 until 2012, but with a little break in the middle. A couple of breaks, yes. Okay. And then you came back in 2016 and 2017. Yes. Okay. So, from what you could see from your vantage point, is it fair to say that you saw that he started doing a lot more drugs over time? Yes. Okay. And is it also fair to say that he started doing more drugs after he started being with Cassie? Fair. Okay. And Cassie was doing more drugs too as time went on. Yes. And from what you could see, they were doing drugs together? Yes. Okay. Now, getting back very briefly to our meeting in April of 2024, you thought if you could go back and be the chief of staff, you could be helpful to him in his business, right? That was the discussion. Okay. Hold up, y'all. Let me get some water. Shout out to everybody coming through. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button, please, and thank you. Um, thank you, guys. Let's see. Hold up. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so and from what you could see, they were doing drugs together. All right, we got through that. She says it was a discussion that she would briefly come back as a chief of staff. That was a discussion. Okay. And when you say it was a discussion, do you remember you actually saying that to Teeny and myself in front of your lawyer, Mr. Friedman? I remember discussing it with you guys, yes, in front of Brian. And Brian is Brian Friedman. Yes, sir. Okay, thank you. And did you authorize Mr. Freeman to have further discussions with Mr. Combs' lawyer about the possibility of you coming as chief of staff? I don't know if I authorized them. And I don't know what I don't know that there was anything else discussed outside of that room to my knowledge, but he was my lawyer. I don't know what he might have discussed with y'all. Okay. Because it was very non-procedural. It was lawyer to lawyer versus a letter or something. Hold up. That's what she answered. She said it was very non-procedural. It was lawyer to lawyer versus a letter or something. Right, says Agnifilo. And do you recall at the meeting it was said to you that there was a criminal investigation ongoing of Mr. Combs, correct? Yes. Okay. By the time we had the meeting in April, there had already been a search warrant executed on 2 of his homes. You knew that, right? Yes. And you remember being told that it would be impossible for you to be given a job in the middle of the investigation. Do you remember something along those lines? I do not. Hold up. Let me pause right here. Because I don't want this to go over my head. But did she try asking for a job when there was an active investigation? I mean, in 2024, when the search warrants were executed? Is that what I'm hearing? Did she try asking for a job when that was going on? Did y'all hear that? Because I didn't hear this before. She did, right? Am I hearing this correctly? And then they told her, well, you can't really ask for a job when they're investigating him for a crime? This is the same person who said she was kidnapped in the building. I just want to make sure we understand this, right? Like that's what's happening. You think I think she was trying, well, I don't know. I mean, she was trying to set him up. I have a lot of questions. What do you guys think about this? Because I could believe everything that she said. She was kidnapped for 5 hours, right? And then she still came back after that. But after she left, is she saying, I'm trying to understand this. Agnifilo asked her, right, do you recall at a meeting it was said to you that there was a criminal investigation ongoing of Mr. Combs, correct? Yes. By the time he had the meeting in April, there had been search warrants executed on 2 of his homes. You knew that. Yes. And do you remember being told that it would be impossible for you to be given a job in the middle of an investigation? Do you remember something along those lines? And she says, I do not. Okay, let's keep going. I'm trying to like parse this through because that don't make any sense to me. But let me stop. And I don't want to get into anything that Mr. Friedman said to you. This is what Agnifilo says. So I can't ask the next question. Okay. So getting strictly to that meeting, to the meetings that we were all together, do you remember that being discussed? And let me ask you specifically, do you remember saying that would be very difficult to do to bring you up because of a pending investigation? Objection from the government. Overruled. Clark answers, I do not remember. Okay. And I'm not trying to. Do you remember telling Mr. Combs that you had a crush on him, even going back to your, when you guys were friends? No. Agnifilo says, all right, I'm going to ask you to show defense witness exhibits 946. Okay, this is for the witness and the parties. And can we blow it up? Can you read that? Is that big enough for you? The court speaks. Miss Clark, can you read that? Miss Clark says, yes, I can. Are you able to read it? Okay, now take a second and read it and let us know when you're done. This is what the court says. Agnifilo speaks. Read the top blurb and let me know when you're done. And Miss Clark, I'm also told that you have any trouble reading anything on the screen. There's a binder next to you. No, I can see it. Okay. So when you finish reading it, just look up at me and that will tell me that you're done. All right. Okay. Do you remember telling him that you had the biggest crush on him before you started working for him? I don't remember this text. Capricorn Clark says. Agnifilo then says, okay, can we put it back up for a second? Is this a text between you and him? It looks like it, but I don't remember this text. Okay. Do you recognize the phone number attributed to you? Yes. All right. Do you recognize the phone number attributed to him? No, but it could be his number. I don't know his number. All right. We'll ask that it be admitted. Exhibits get admitted into the evidence. Any objection? No objection. Ms. Steiner says, hold up. She says, Your Honor, hearsay on 403, and I don't believe they authenticated it. She couldn't identify the number. Oh, okay. The court says, and what's the response to hearsay? On hearsay, Agnifilo speaks, none of it is offered for the truth. It's a state of mind, and the witness recollection wasn't refreshed. So I've offered it, but nothing here is offered for the truth. Ms. Steiner speaks, Your Honor, I think it's clearly being offered for the truth. There's no response other than the witness text message. The court speaks, Mr. Agnifilo, there was an issue raised with respect to the authentication. Can't read. So why don't you try? Agnifilo speaks. We had stipulations. Okay, hold on one sec. We had a stipulation on authenticity. Ms. Steiner, says the court, can we have a sidebar, Your Honor? Very brief. Oh, God, here we go with the sidebars. Let me see what you guys are saying, because some of you guys are responding. We're going to take this. If we need to take it slow, we'll take it slow. I don't think she was asking for a job with Diddy, but not a general job. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, Jamaican girl. That kind of threw me out, honestly. I was not expecting that, but they're about to get on a sidebar here. Yeah, she wanted a job. Only Diddy would hire her, so she thought, right. What? And they had to tell her there's an active investigation, so you can't, they can't hire you, but you're using that against her. That's what I'm like. Oh man. Shout out to you. Thank you, Whitney. Thank you. All right, let's get into the sidebar real quick. Agnifilo, I know you have a 2-lawyer rule at sidebar. I know we have been breaking it, so I'm guilty. The court speaks. Well, it's like, who wants to be a millionaire? You get a few lifelines, but you're running out. Great, says Agnifilo. Ms. Shapiro speaks. Judge, I have to do something on this trial. The court looks at Ms. Steiner. Ms. Steiner, yes, Your Honor. The issue here, Ms. Steiner speaks. The reason the government is objecting is because this witness is not sure what these numbers are. So it's a relevance issue to the witness. She herself can't can't know who this conversation is between in any definitive way. Court speaks. Well, if it's there or not, you're not objecting on authentication grounds, right? Steiner speaks. Just one moment. Ms. Comey steps in, okay, who's also for the government. I take the defense counsel representation that this is covered by one of the stipulations, that this came from Mr. Combs' devices or iCloud accounts. Garagos speaks. That's right. Okay. Garagos is for the defense. If it's covered by the stipulation, we're not arguing that it's not from his phone. The issue for 401 and 403 purposes, this witness doesn't recognize it to be a conversation she had. The court speaks. Well, she doesn't recall the conversation. But if there's no authentication objection, then it is what it appears to be. And the parties have stipulated that it is, in fact, an authentic communication from Mr. Combs' phone. So the question is it admissible hearsay? Inadmissible hearsay. And Mr. Agnifilo says it goes to her state of mind. And I've reviewed the messages, and it does appear to go purely to her state of mind. So that overcomes the hearsay objection. So at that point, there would be a 403 issue. So on 403 grounds, what's the argument? Ms. Steiner speaks. I think that there's the probative value of this is so low that the risk of confusing the jury with the document that is not quite sure who the communication is between is high. It would be one thing if she could even know who the parties are in the conversation, but she's not sure. The court speaks. Understood. I think you can ask a couple of questions to resolve that particular issue. Agnifilo speaks. Okay. The court speaks. Of who the people are on this communication. Agnifilo addresses and agrees. Okay. The court speaks. To address the, I suppose it's a 401, 402 issue as to 403, why is this probative? What's it probative of? Agnifilo speaks. It's probative. I think it undermines her entire direct testimony that she was the subject of all these horrific threats. The court speaks. So ask those questions and you can seek to offer it again. Agnifilo says, okay. All right, we're back in open court. Jury's present. Mr. Agnifilo continues. Do me a favor, guys. Support the channel. Hit the like button, please. And thank you. I'd appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So Agnifilo continues. So on top you see a phone number. It says Cap new. Do you see that? I do. That's your phone number? That is my number. Okay. The court speaks. Miss Clark, could you pull that microphone over? It might have gotten pushed back to the side. Thank you. I do. That is my number. And then the green blur, it says PD iPhone. Do you see that? I see it, but I don't recognize that number. Were you communicating with Mr. Combs by text around this time? I did text him back in 2021. Oh, time frame. She texted him back in 2021. Okay. And by the way, I don't think this necessarily means anything. I mean, a lot of the witnesses seem to have continued to communicate with Diddy throughout the time frame, even having experienced the things that they have experienced. I mean, you had assistants that were inviting him to the wedding. Okay. So I don't know how much, keep that in mind as far as like how you go about addressing or feeling about this. To me, this is just like everybody else. They all seem to have continued contact with Diddy one way or another. Okay. She says, I did text him in 2021. Okay. And you don't recognize the number, but you see it. It says PD iPhone, right? I see it says PD iPhone, but I don't know that number. I don't recognize that number. The numbers, yes. Your Honor, we offer, what's the number? The court asks. Oh, it is 946. 926? No, 946, Judge. All right. Defense Exhibit 946 will be admitted. Okay, so exhibits are admitted. Agnifilo speaks. So now we can play it for the jury. So the first blurb there, it says, totally unrelated to our current conversation. But did you ever know that I had the biggest crush on you before I started working for you? Do you see that there? I see it. Then you go on to say, we hung out all the time. I played it super cool. Jeanette might be the only one who knew. Do you see that? Yes. Okay. Yes. And who is the Jeanette that is being discussed there? It's reading as my friend Jeanette DeLone. And that's the Jeanette DeLone that you were talking about to the jury a couple minutes ago, right? Yes. I don't think you knew. I couldn't tell if it was mutual. I just knew that for sure that you like to have me around. That's what you write, correct? That's what it says I wrote. Yes. Do you have any memory of this at all? I really don't. No. Did you reach out to Mr. Combs a lot in June of 2021? I don't know what month it was, but I knew I was reaching out to him to try to talk to him. Okay. But you see there's a reference to Jeanette DeLone, right? I do. Yes. And that's the person you talked about. That's your friend, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the friend that introduced you to Mr. Combs, right? True. So you go on to say, sometimes I wonder, did we misuse all that dope chemistry? Do you see that? I see that. It was super fun pack then. It was super fun back then. The SJC days. What's the SJC days? Sean, Janet, and Capricorn. So is that a term that you use a lot? The SJC days? Yeah. Okay. All of us did, she says. All right. Sean, Jeanette, and Capricorn. And what were the Sean, Jeanette, Capricorn days exactly? Before I worked for him. Okay. All right. Let me pause right here. Okay. Let me say something. All right. Because I have to say something. And let me know what you guys think. So this is 2021. She had already been through all the stuff with Puff that she had been through. The alleged kidnapping in the building, the Kid Cudi situation, the having to call Regina. She had seen her I wouldn't even say if it was necessarily her friend, but at least Cassie Ventura being beat up. She had called Cassie Ventura's mom. Okay. All of that. She had seen all of that. And she messaged him in 2021. This doesn't look, I'm going to tell you guys as a juror, this don't look very well for me. And notice how she says the SJC days. She's not even including Cassie in this little trio here because it's 3 people. I could be wrong, but I do feel so. I was like, damn, okay. This is a different view, right? You say, yeah, Tracy, you're right. And I think they all say that they don't hate him. So it don't sound like they have an axe to grind. And the only reason they're testifying is to tell the truth of the course of where they came to, where they're at. Actually, I will say that every witness, it seems like there's not a real what's the word? Like an axe to grind per se. The only reasons why they're here is because they're in court. They have to testify, right? Matt, where have you been? 6 months. Oh my God, Matt, thank you for keeping your membership. But damn, you've been gone. Where you been all my life? Rabito, Pika, hey chat, y'all been busy. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Clearly you have been because it's been 6 months, but you've been gone too long. Okay. Shout out to GMAT, one of our supporters. Shout out to GMAT. Drop some hearts for GMAT. I hadn't seen GMAT in a while. I know you've been missing. Okay. All right. I believe you. Shout out to you. You've been missing my Judge Judy mornings. Okay. I don't even know I have to find the wig that I have to wear while I'm deliberating this trial. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. This is no real malice. It feels toxic. Y'all see what I'm saying? That I'm like, I am clutching. I don't have any pearls on, but I'm clutching my pearls on this one. Okay. Let's keep going. Okay. Here we go. So she says, and what were the Sean, Jeanette, Capricorn days exactly? Before I worked for him. So when you guys were just friends, yes. When you guys were just friends, yes. We called you Chalk, short for chocolate, right? Mm-hmm. Is that true? Yes. And who also called him Chalk? Jeanette. Okay. I was just thinking about them nights before everything. So nice, great memories. 22 years ago. Time is wild. You see that there? Agnifilo is very undertone petty. Don't let there's something about Agnifilo when I read the transcripts and he's speaking. Don't let him fool you. He's got some pettiness in him. Agnifilo can be petty, okay? He's got this underlying tone about him. Okay. You see that there? I see it. Agnifilo speaks. Okay. So we can take it down. So before you ever worked for him, am I right that you liked him? Forget about crushes for the time being. You liked him. I liked him as a friend. Okay. You liked him as a friend, right? Right. Yes, as a friend. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep doing that to you. I'm sorry. Yes, I liked him as a friend. You also respected him, didn't you? Yeah. He was even in 2001, 2002, 2003, he was starting to be a pretty accomplished businessman. Is that fair to say? Yes. And he was doing things in the world of music and fashion that you respected. Am I right? True. Now, tell us about your background up to that point. You said that where did you work? You said, where did you work? You worked at Def Jams back in the day. My first job was an internship at Def Jam. Okay. And you said that's like the start of hip hop. That's like the birthplace of everything that became hip hop. Yes. Like back like Run DMC type thing, like all the back as far as not that far. Agnifilo, does he know who Run DMC? Does he know any of this? But anyways, okay. Like back like Run DMC type of thing, like all the way back far or not that far. She says not that far. I'm not that old, sir. Oh well, I'm sorry. Okay. He says, well, I am. Okay. I'm more of a Foxy Brown, Redman, Method Man, Jay-Z days. Got it, got it. How did your friendship with Sean Combs proceed in 2002, 3, and going into 2004? Just super platonic. He had his girlfriends around. We'd all hang out. Whoever, me and Jeanette would come. Jeanette would go sometimes by herself, and we would go to the clubs and go to the dinners. Or, we was getting an award. If he was getting an award, he would invite us to when he was getting an award or something, very casual. Okay. Fair to say, because you've been close with him for many, many years. He had more free time back then. Does that sound right or no? I don't know about free time because he still seemed busy. Okay. He was still working hard. Yes. Now, how did you come to start working for him in 2004 exactly? I called I get a call from a headhunter. Okay. And was this, tell me if this is right. Was this the time when the headhunters like, there's a job for your entertainment tycoon in a music, there's a job for entertainment tycoon in a music, and you knew who it was? Yes. Tell the jury that story. So I was working in advertising, and then September 11th happened, and then I went to a film company called Crossroads. Awesome people. They paid off my student loans. They were great, and I put my resume on Monster. It was like a new website at the time where you could upload a resume, similar to, I guess, whatever is on now. And I was at the new job, and I got a random call from this company called the Jennifer Group. And they were like, hey, we found your resume on Monster, and we have the criteria. You had, excuse me, and you have the criteria. You have all the job experience that is needed for this fashion entertainment tycoon. Okay. And when you said those words, excuse me, and when they said those words to you, fashion entertainment tycoon, what went off in your head? I asked them, I said, do you mean Sean Combs? Okay. And they were like, how did you guess that? And I was like, well, you described somebody very specific. And because at that point in time, when they use those words, Sean Combs is who you thought of. That is who I thought of. And I was right. The way they described him. Yeah. Right. And then you called Mr. Combs directly. Am I right? I did. And what did you say to him? I said, hey, I just got a call from a headhunter. They want me to work for you. And I was like, are you hiring for an assistant? And he was like, yeah, would you work for me? And I was like, I don't know. What's the job? Like, what is it? And then we talked about it, the job. He hired you? Huh? And he hired you? Well, I met with some people and they liked me. And I guess he called around a couple people and they hired me. So tell us a little bit about the process. You said you met with a few people. Tell us what you remember. And this is back in 2004, right? Yes. Tell us what you remember about the hiring process. I remember meeting a couple of people. I don't know who all they were. I don't know for sure. Vashta was one of them. Vashta's last name? Vashta Dunlap. Okay. Met with a couple of people. I guess he asked them what they thought of me, and then me and him had a conversation. And what was Vashta Dunlap's position, if you recall? I guess it was like a vice president of human resources. All right. So then you started working with him in 2004. Am I right? Yes. And do you recall if that was the year that he started to play Raisin in the Sun? It is exactly. He was on Broadway when I started. Okay. And tell me if this is right. Let me back up. Were you impressed that he was acting in a Broadway play? First of all, I didn't even know Diddy was on a Broadway play. Did y'all know that? Is that right? Because that's crazy. I had no idea. No idea. Hold up. Let me see. Oh, snap. You know what? Let me stop right here. Guys, we have the transcripts for today, and I left early. So I'm going to stop right here on this one. Because you know what we're going to do? I'm going to do a pre-recorded on this. We're going to stop right here. I'm going to do the transcript read on, at the very least, the defense on Deontay Nash. Listen, we have to do this one. I just want to know what the defense said. Hold up. Let me schedule it now. What do y'all think? Deontay Nash? Yes or no? Read Deontay Nash? Because Deontay Nash was like, that was something else, y'all. Let me see. I have to find. Here it is, Deontay Nash. Let me go to the table of contents. Ignacio, Deontay Nash starts at 2. Yeah, let's do that. Deontay Nash. I want to read what the defense said because I am stuck on that. I'm not going to read the entire thing. That'll probably be another pre-recorded video. Oh my God. Here we go. Hold up. Let me do that right now while we're live. And it probably won't be a very, very long one. Yeah. Okay. Hold up. We're going to stop right here. For those that are watching the replay, this is going to be I'm going to stop here and do a pre-recorded where I left off. Because I literally left on pins and needles on this one. Official court transcripts. Let me do this right here. Y'all, I spelled official with 3 F's. That's not good. Lord have mercy. I want to read this last part. Oh my God. Hold up. Hit the like button, please, and thank you. Come on. Upload the photo. Let's do it real quick. Let's do it now. 50. Okay. Let me show you. It's already up. Let me put the link in the chat. Hold up, so you guys can go directly over there and wait for me over there while this is up. Hold up. Live. Come on. Did it go through? Where is it? Y'all, I have so many thumbnails now. Home. Here it is. Okay. Yeah, I got Baby Bunny over here. Here, this is the link. I'm going to end this right now. Go over here. Let me show you where it's at. Stop sharing this. Stop. Let me show you all. This is it. The link is right there. Okay. The link is right there. Go over there right now. Go on it. The link is right there. Y'all, I already see Sexiness over there. Thank you, Sexiness. I see you. All right. There you go. Let's go. Hit the like button. Go over there. I'll see you guys. I'm going to end this. It's going to be a pre-recorded to finish what I'm intrigued by Capricorn. Let me just say that. All right. Let's go.